Hey guys, you're watching the one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Mini City. Today, we're going to be trying to tackle the cargo port in miniature. Now, if you haven't seen the cargo port in full scale in our main city, then you're probably going to struggle to understand how truly difficult this is actually going to be to build in miniature. And in fact, a few episodes ago, I asked you guys if you had any ideas on how it would even be possible. I'll show you some pictures when we jump into Photoshop of what we're sort of trying to recreate here. But the best, well, the only really viable option, I think, was pressure plate. And getting a pressure plate, retexturing the block to look more like the center of the bottom of our cargo port, and putting that down, and then getting some paintings, and we retexture up a painting, a 1 block wide painting, not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one, but that one would be good. This flower one, we put these paintings on either side, okay, on all four sides. Now, obviously, like everything in this world, there are some downsides. There are some stuff that isn't going to quite work, but this is probably going to be the best balance of aesthetics and just doability more than anything. Now, as you can see, paintings cannot be viewed from the back side. They go invisible. It's actually like a really weird, almost satisfying illusion, isn't it, when you sort of go around them like this? But what we can do is, obviously, this pressure plate is textured to look like the circle on the ground, which is just an iron block, because that's an iron pressure plate. And then these paintings we retexture to look like the big beams that hold it up, and then we texture the top to look like the round sort of part of it, the black and yellow and grey part along the top. Now, we could technically sort of leave it like that, and if we looked at it from this angle, it would look about right, and if we looked at it from down here, it would look right. The only trouble is from the top, it's pretty much invisible, and when you're up at this sort of height, we won't actually be able to see the ring at all. We'll only be able to see these two edges. So, an option that we might have is to get a carpet, and we can place the carpet directly on top of this pressure plate to give ourselves like a cap to it. Now, the top of our cargo port crane here would have a hole in the middle. It would basically, what in a dream world, we would have just the sort of edge, like a few pixels around the perimeter here being visible, and the middle being invisible. Even in a even perfecter world, we would have the crane that goes through the middle, the slider that's through the middle here. But as far as I know, if we made the block invisible in Photoshop in the parts that we wanted to, as soon as we come into this world, it'll just be black. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for the carpet design, but instead of doing it invisible, we'll try and match it to the grey that's inevitably going to be underneath here. Now, ooh. Oh, I kept... No! I needed to change the block underneath it. I should have done that at the beginning. That was like a noob mistake to make, that was. So yeah, I'll put these back on, and we'll texture it so the brown carpet from the top at least is grey in those areas, so it looks like the ground through it. And I think that's going to actually look okay. I think it's going to somewhat work for us. I think that this is going to be the most important part of the world as well. Doesn't really matter if I get the flower ones again. Whatever one. Yeah, that one then now we'll have. I've got a double building over here. A 2 block wide building, which will make out of the same block. The same over here will make out of the same block. And I think there's a building somewhere here that will make out of the same block. And then there's a building here, which is a fuel station for the 18-wheelers and then the trucks and stuff like that come through here. So what we'll probably do is we'll probably place down the same fuel station over here as would be over here when we build it, but we just haven't built it yet. So I think that's going to be the plan. Let's jump into Photoshop, and we shall start on it. Alright, so here's the iron block loaded up, which is just technically the pressure plate because they share the same texture. This right here is the crane that we're working on, that we want to try and do. So obviously the paintings are going to be retextured to look like these legs, and then the brown carpet is going to be retextured to look like this circle, but obviously in a square formation. We'll try and get the crane that goes through the middle here. The pressure plate is going to be what the ground texture is around here, which is basically just a giant circle, and then the surrounding area looks like this. I'm uploading a video at the same time, which is why you can see that other tab at the top. But yeah, we've got this ground sort of texture with the orange and the yellows and the crates and stuff like that. I might put the crates down. I think I probably will. It would be really cool. Not quite sure how we're going to do these other crates unless we texture up a block to look like a bunch of different crates. The only trouble is that it doesn't work from all of the sides. They'll end up looking like they're crossing into each other. Very weird. If you don't know what I'm talking about, try it for yourself. Try retexturing a block and you'll see exactly what I mean. But yeah, these two buildings, or this building here, is technically one building, will make out of two blocks. But as you can see, all three of these buildings share the same, very similar in design sort of form, with little red parts but either side of the windows, these sort of hatchings on the top, the plain grey sides, so they're going to match up really, really nicely. And then this is the fuel station that we have, which will just match up to a fuel station that we'll build later on. These random like gates that you see laying about here, these are actually the barrels and the crates in the game, but the overviewer program that's used to render this out doesn't know what mods are, so I think what it does is it selects the block ID that's closest to what we're looking for. So if like the gate ID is 131, you might find that the barrel is 131.2 or something like that, so it just puts it as close as it possibly can. So we're starting off with the pressure plate here, and I need a grey for the ground. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to get rid of the iron for the minute, and we are going to search for stone, which is the block that we've used for the ground. And the reason why I'm going to get this is I'm going to slide this across, and I'm going to zoom in so I can get at least a very similar grade to what we want. So I'm going to select that, and then close that down, and then we're going to open up our iron block again. Iron block, and then we can draw this nice and big, and at least now the grey around the edges, because I want to try and keep this round at the bottom, will hopefully match into the stone around the side. I know there's like two textures for the grey in the stone, but this will work fine because we're only going to see little parts of it. So we want a nice dark black or nearly black edging going around in a circle fashion here. This is going to be tricky to do. I need to find a middle point, which I think is there and here at a guess. But what we'll do now is just double check. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Perfect. So we know that that's the middle of the top there and there. And we know that's the middle of the sides. 32 by 32, but it takes back like normal. And now what I need to do is basically do the same thing as what I would do in Minecraft if I was trying to build a big circle on the ground. And try and round this off in the most Minecraft-like way possible. So I'm going to start off with these corners. I'm going to do the same as what I do in Minecraft and just work on one corner first. So I'm going to do 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 1. And I think that's going to give us the best circle that is possible in this size. There. 3, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3. 3, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3. That looks like a pretty good circle. I'm okay with that. So once we've got that, I'm going to thicken this up. We're going to make it 2 blocks thick instead of 1 block. So I'm going to add an extra layer of pixels to it. And then we want to have a white layer. Is that right? Nope, that's right. We want a white layer next. We're going to work our way towards the middle. There, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Whoops. Like that. White layer. I'm going to do it just off white. I don't like to use perfect white. It looks too bright. But this is going to be a But this could be a thicker one as well. We'll do it 1 block thick first, then we'll probably thicken it up to 2. So around here. And through the power of editing, I have saved you 10 minutes of your life. We're going to go with a darker grey now to fill up the middle. Not as dark as the grey that's going around in the circles, but darker than the stone that we have going around the outside, or that's currently in the middle. So we'll fill all of this up here. Oops. It's going to be like the only round thing in this mini city that I know of so far, like truly looking round, at least. I can't think of anything else that looks even remotely round. It might be the only round thing in the main city as well. Okay, now that we've got that, we can put the crates in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a red crate that goes on the left here. I'm going to just do it so it just goes over the edge of the dark grey. Just so our crate can look a little bit more true scale in a way. And then we have a blue one that faces down. So again, we're going to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that. And then we have, I don't know what colour it is. Can I see on the picture? No, I can't see on the picture. I think it was a green crate or something. We'll do a green one. It doesn't really matter if it's not the same color, does it? A green one, but this one is actually diagonal, which is a little bit of a pain to do. If I done it like that, because 4 blocks might look a little bit too, but we'll try 4 blocks. Pretty sure it's going to look maybe a little bit too wide, because when as soon as you make something diagonal in Minecraft, you suddenly make it longer. That's just how like diagonals work. But I think that works okay. I think that works pretty decent. Yeah, the green one certainly looks a little bit bigger. But I don't think there's really anything that I can do about that to keep it in correct. Okay, so now what we can do is just put a little bit of shading on these. We'll make some darker edges. And we'll make some lighter edges. Just so it looks like they're popping out at least a little bit. We'll grab the blue. Darker blue. Blues are very difficult because like a darker blue, you have to go a lot darker to be able to be visibly darker. It's quite strange. And then the red as well. Oops. Red. And lighter red up here. Okay, wonderful. Let's grab some yellow now for some hatchings on the floor. I'm going to go with like just a subtle gold, I think. And we'll put these do not park or do not stop in these zones. I think I want to do them the other way around. Like that. I think I want to have them... Oh, I got rid of the stupid yellow, didn't I? Yellow. It's not quite the yellow. That's more like it. Something like that. I know it looks no different to you guys at the minute. It's just flipped around the way that the yellows were facing, that's all. So I want these ones and these ones. Oh, it's really difficult to do that. And then is it like that? Must be. And here. Okay, wonderful. Now, should I join all those yellows up together, like, and go up here? They won't quite fit in perfectly, but they can get pretty close to being correct, like that. Yeah, perfect. And then in the middle, I don't have a picture of exactly what it looks like in the middle. I can't see underneath the map, like it's right in the way typically, but I'm pretty sure that it just has like a little white circle there, so that's what I'm going to do. We're going to do a little white... That's not white. We're going to do a little white circle in here. I think that just finishes that off. Maybe with the dark, really dark grey in the middle here. Okay, wonderful. That's going to look really sick from above. We shall save that. We shall close that. We shall open up the paintings now. So we want, not in here. In here. We want painting. Drag this one in. And we changed it. It's no longer the flower one. It is now this painting right here. We need this to look like the yellow and black sort of checker pattern of the legs of these parts. And we also want to do this going along the top of the painting as well, I think, to make it look a little bit deeper than just a carpet. So, and we also don't want it taking up the full block. Obviously, we only want it up one side and up the other side, and then the middle of it is going to be invisible. Invisible. So let's do the invisible section first. If I leave 5 pixels around the edge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I just do that for a minute, we've now got 5 pixels left on either side, and if I do 5 pixels on the top, which is there, we're left with the sort of this upside down U shape. I think that's probably a decent amount to leave, and yeah, we can go from there. So we want some dark grey, which I've already got selected for the bottom of the legs. I'm going to do 2 pixels of that, and then we want black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. And I think what I'm going to do to make it look like what I want to look like, I'm going to stagger these up this side and up the other side. You know what? If I just work on one leg first, I can then just copy and paste it, can't I? And then I'm not doing the same thing twice for eternity. And then we'll reverse it for this side, or invert it up here. Then we want a light grey going up the middle. We've only got 1 pixel up the middle, but I don't mind that too much. So we want just a light grey going straight up the middle here. We want yellow to go in between those dots. That's not quite the yellow I want. That's more of the yellow I want. Trying to make it look as industrial as possible, and there's nothing more industrial, I don't think, than the yellow and black sort of warning colours. So I have these coming down here. I could put a little bit of shading on the bottom of these, make it a little bit darker here. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool to have a little bit more shading down there. Okay, that'll be the same on the other side, so we shall grab that, we shall copy it and paste it and put it over here, like so, combine. And then around the top, we then have the grey. We're going to go with the lighter of the 2 greys that we've got here. That goes along the bottom, and it's going to go along the top. And then we're going to have the darker one to go along the middle. And then the yellow one is going to go in the other 2 zones. And that's pretty perfect, actually. If I drag this over again, in case I don't put a picture up, you can see it's grey on the bottom, yellow, black, yellow, grey, which is absolutely dead on what we have. Now, I could leave it like that, and it wouldn't look too bad, I don't think. But I think to give more of an impression that it's round and it's sort of going around the corner, if we get some darker yellow, and we put this on, on this side, like this, and we get some lighter yellow, and we put it on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we do the same with the greys, so I get a very black grey now to go here. It's not really that noticeably different, but oh well. And lighter grey in there, even lighter grey to go up here and here, and a slightly darker grey, a little bit darker than that, to go in here. That's better, and here. So I think it gives the impression that it sort of curves around. It looks like the middle part is a little bit more closer towards us. Great. Save, close. The last one is the carpet, brown carpet, which is, come back here, painting, hello? Yeah, I know you. There we go. Is wool. Is that what I have to search? I can't remember. Yeah, wool. And it's brown wool we're using because we need the brown carpet variation. And now we want to do the top, which is going to be grey. This dark grey for the most part. I should really grab that grey first so I know exactly what... it doesn't really matter, does it? And then what we're going to do is do this beam down the middle and then match the same grey as the ground to make it look like it's almost going through. Or we could do the center circle up here. So when you're looking at it from above, it looks like it's going through. It might look a little bit weird from the side. No, that would be pretty cool when you're dead above it. But apart from that, it wouldn't really work all that well, unfortunately. I don't think. Okay, so first, I need a stone block again. Stone. Because I lost it. Because I'm a dummy. Stone. And the reason why I have to close down each layer before I open up another one, like each block before I open up another one, is because, I don't know if it's just this Photoshop, it's maybe me being silly, but it sort of freaks out if I try and open up two Minecraft textures at the same time. It doesn't do it with anything else. Like, I can have as many thumbnails open if I'm doing thumbnails as I want, but when it comes to these Minecraft files, something doesn't agree with something else. Okay, so that's going to be the background layer. I then need the dark grey that we have for the circle now that's going to go around the edge. Now, it's obviously going to be square on the outside. I can't make the block go round. But however, I can make it go from square on the outside to round on the inside. Let's say we make it 3 blocks in total. I need to find the middle point again. I'm pretty sure that's the middle point, if my eyes are decent. I don't know if it's... Oops. I don't know if it's that one or one up from it, but we're pretty close either way. I think I'm one too high. We'll just check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh, no. Not right at all. Bang. We'll add another 2 on either side of these. Yeah. There, here, and here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 1, 1. Yeah, I was 1 block too high. I thought I was. And then we'll drop that down. Okay, now... Oops. Now we should be symmetrical. We'll put this grey back. I should be able to do the same thing up the top here now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 1, 1. Perfect. 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 1, 1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 1, 1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Alright, wonderful. Now what I can do is I can make all of this outside grey. And this will be the top. Now, I know it looks... It's as close as what I can get. I think you guys are going to be actually pleasantly surprised when we load this up in Minecraft. This is going so much smoother and so much better than I thought it would in my head. I knew this was going to be a struggle. I knew this was going to be a challenge. That's sort of what I was looking mostly forward to this. But there's always those worry parts. Okay, to fill up the little spaces that we've got up here, I'm going to put like little fake beacons in, because we do have beacons actually on here in the corners, and it fills up the corners here rather well, in all honesty. If we get a very white block now to put a little bit of shine on the top of those. They're like little warning lights, I suppose. Alright, now we've got that. I want to have a yellow. You wouldn't really be able to see it from the top usually, but I think it would just sort of match in what we're trying to accomplish here. I'm going to make this outside that's currently grey into this yellow. Have this going around the outside. And then we want the crane going through the middle, which is a very light grey with a little bit of red on it. So that's going to be interesting to see what that looks like. Light grey. I need it to be lighter than the ground, because I need it to be super visible, and I need it to be absolutely 100% diagonal. So we're going to put those in like this, make it bigger, make it bigger, make it bigger, and that side. Oops. I think that's about right. We'll put some shading in here, some just very subtle shading on here. And I might do the same shading on either side, just so I don't have to do a lighter grade in that, because it would go very white. Otherwise, we'll grab the red for the crane on either side. And again, this needs to be symmetrical. It doesn't need to be in the dead middle, though. We're going to go there, there, and in the middle. I think there and there as well. And we'll go there, there, and there. And I think that's good. I think I'm actually really stoked about how this is going to turn out. I'm going to save that. I'm going to close that. And I shall see you guys back in Minecraft. The moment of truth has arrived. Is it going to look good? Is it going to look bad? Let's find out. F3T. It's going to just freeze the world for a moment while it reloads up the texture pack. And boom! Yeah, see what I mean about making the grey of the top here the same as the grey below? It almost looks like it's invisible now. Do you know what I mean? And then the crates down the bottom there, they look sick. Oh, I love it. And then the corners. You know, that is, I think, as close to the crane as you could ever get using vanilla blocks. I don't think you could ever get closer than that. That is so cool. I'm so chuffed on how I was really nervous about that looking terrible. Really nervous about that looking terrible. But yeah, I love the grey. I think that was a really smart decision. My other option, like I said, was to do this texture that we've got on the pressure plate inside of this circle. So when I'm dead above it, you could see it through it. And that would look cool when I'm dead above it. But then if I went over here, you'd be able to see these 3 crates up here. And that wouldn't work as well. I think this is really cool. I should have done some red shading on the edge of the cranes, but I'll do that off camera once I finish off the episode. That's the only final touch I would do, is just put a little bit of darker red around the edges there. Oh, real stoked. Alright, next episode, we should probably be here again doing the buildings around the side. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode.